Ladies and gentlemen, in a world full of many voices, opinions, and distractions, one of the greatest wishes of the human heart is clarity. Not just direction, but clear confirmation. We don't just want to move forward, we want to be sure we are moving in agreement with God's will. Because destiny isn't about how fast you go, it's about how accurate you are. So, how can you tell if you are on the right way? I want to share with you 8 signs, divine signals that God gives when you are walking in His plan for your life. These signs are not just emotional moments or fireworks, but spiritual marks. When you notice them, don't ignore them. They are messages from the kingdom. Peace that doesn't make sense is one of the strongest signs that you are walking in line with God's will. It's not something that can be explained by logic or reasoning. It's not because everything in your life is perfect. In fact, this kind of peace often comes during the most uncertain, unstable, and uncomfortable times. This peace doesn't come because there are no problems. It comes because God is present. It's a supernatural calm that holds your soul steady even when the storm is raging around you. You're not denying the chaos. You are simply not overwhelmed by it. When God leads your steps, there is an inner confidence that is stronger than outside confusion. People around you might be panicking. Things might be changing quickly. You might not know what will happen tomorrow. But inside you, something says, "It is well." That's not just mental toughness or emotional control. That is the Spirit of God, confirming you are in tune with heaven's timing. Fear loses its power. Peace becomes your weapon. Confidence becomes your stance. His peace guards your heart and mind like a soldier standing at the gate. It keeps away anxiety that tries to destroy your faith. This doesn't mean you don't feel the weight of what's going on. It means you don't let it control you. There is a quietness inside that is louder than all the noise. You wake up without fear, even when the situation has not changed. You make decisions calmly, even when the future is unclear. That's when you know it's not natural, it's divine. God's peace is not quiet or weak. It is alive. It moves with you and walks with you. It shows that you are never alone. The Bible teaches that peace comes after the breakthrough, but in the kingdom, peace comes before it. Because peace is not the result of a win, it's a sign that you trust God's power. It shows your spirit has moved from struggling to surrendering. You're no longer fighting to control things. You're resting in the one who already holds control. When you are truly living according to God's purpose, you don't need to push situations, beg for attention, or force your way into places. Doors begin to open on their own that you did not plan or create. People start talking about you in places you haven't been yet. This is the nature of God's favor. It is not earned by working harder. It is attracted by being obedient. When you line up with God's plan, doors open without you having to try hard, because heaven sees your faithfulness. The doors God opens are not temporary chances. They are lasting appointments. Maybe you have gone through times where you tried everything on your own strength, networking, campaigning, pushing, and striving, but nothing changed. That is because when you force things before God's time, you might get through a door, but you won't have the strength to stay there. But when God's timing meets your readiness, doors open easily. Suddenly what seemed like a delay turns into fast progress. Suddenly the call comes, the connection happens, the opportunity arrives, and you didn't chase it, it came after you. That is not luck or chance. That is favor. God's favor does what effort cannot do. It reaches hearts you can't reach. It moves systems you can't control. It creates space where you thought there was none. And the best part about divine doors is that they don't require you to change who you are or what you believe to enter. You don't have to act like someone else or give up your values. When God opens a door, He opens it for who you really are, not who others want you to be. It follows God's order. When your life is in divine order, divine opportunity comes next. What others fight to get, you walk into. What others are locked out of, you get invited into. Because when God opens a door, no person, system, opinion, or opposition can close it. One of the strongest signs that you are on the right path is that you start to see real change in who you are, not just what you do. You are not just changing habits or behaviors, you are being changed inside. This change is not on the surface, it is deep and solid. You begin to notice a deep change in your thinking, your reasons, and your maturity. You don't react the same way anymore. You don't chase the same things. You're no longer trapped by old fears. That's not just growth. That is destiny coming alive. You are becoming the person God always meant you to be. God doesn't rush growth. He builds people before He gives them a platform. Before He puts you on stage, He strengthens your spirit. Before He expands your reach, He deepens your roots. So when you see yourself making choices based on your values instead of comfort, when your desires start to match His heart, when your identity no longer depends on approval, these changes are not random, they are signs. You're not just learning about your purpose, you're becoming a person with purpose. You can look back and see that the pain you went through, the silence you endured, and the battles you fought were part of your growth. It may not have felt like moving forward at the time, but it was preparation. Now, your reactions are different. Your words carry meaning. Your stance has changed. You don't need a title to act with authority. You don't need applause to feel worthy. You don't compromise your beliefs to be accepted. That is the sign. That is the proof. You are not the same person you used to be. The right path God made for you is starting to show in your daily life. Destiny is not a faraway dream anymore. It is your reality now. You are not copying someone else's journey. You are living your own calling. You are not waiting to become. You already are. When you are on the right path, one of the clearest signs is that your passion begins to match God's purpose for your life. A holy fire starts burning in your heart, not for fame, money, or applause, but for making a difference, for meaning, for something that lasts forever. The things that excite your spirit are not distractions or random likes. They are signs pointing to your calling. God often uses the desires of your heart to show you the way. When your passion lines up with His plan, it's more than motivation. It becomes a calling. You stop chasing trends and start chasing truth. You feel alive doing what heaven has given you to do. That's the power of being in alignment. You enjoy what others usually avoid. You feel satisfied doing what others might call sacrifice. That's when you realize it's not just a normal passion. It's a spiritual design. Your heartbeat starts to match God's heartbeat. You wake up in the morning with clear purpose, not confusion. You move with energy, not tiredness. Your soul finds happiness in serving, peace in having a purpose, and strength when you surrender. Many people mix up passion with excitement or hype. Passion is not about making noise, it's about deep belief. It's what you are willing to go through hard times for. It's what you can't stop thinking about. It's the thing that follows you even when you try to ignore it. That feeling in your heart, that vision that won't let you rest, that cause that keeps pulling you back, that's purpose hiding as passion. When your passion matches God's plan, you enter a state where grace meets hard work. You don't burn out, you shine even brighter. This is why it's so important to protect what excites your spirit. If you are on the wrong path, passion will fade. But if you are in your purpose, even during tough times, the fire inside you grows stronger. You start to see that passion isn't about personal fame or success. It's about moving God's kingdom forward. God didn't give you that passion just to entertain you. He placed it there to guide you. It is like a compass inside you, pointing to your destiny. When your excitement is about things that last forever, you stop guessing and you become aligned. You don't chase your purpose anymore, you live it. One thing many people don't understand about walking in God's plan is that not everyone who starts the journey with you will stay with you. People will leave. Some will walk away. Some will disconnect without telling you why. Often it won't make sense. You'll ask yourself what you did wrong, what changed, why things got distant. But here is what you must remember. When God is moving you into a deeper purpose, He will also prune your relationships. Not because those people are bad, but because not all are meant to be part of your next season. People may leave, but your purpose stays. Purpose does not depend on popularity. It does not rise or fall based on who cheers for you, who follows you, or who understands you. Your mission wasn't given by people, so people can't take it away. When God calls you, He doesn't call a crowd, He calls you. That calling stays true even if you walk alone. Relationships may last for a season, but your calling is forever. You must be strong enough in your mission that when people leave, it does not shake who you are. Often we think changes in relationships are personal rejection, but in the world of purpose, losing some connections is sometimes part of the plan. God will remove distractions so you can see clearly. He will let some people leave so you can focus better. Some friendships were based on comfort, not on a strong bond of purpose. They were tied to your past, not your future. When God starts to raise your life up, He allows certain ties to break. Not to punish you, but to prepare you. You'll know you're growing when losing a person no longer causes you to lose your passion. You don't get thrown off by distance or absence. Your eyes stay focused, your hands stay steady, and your heart stays fixed on what God told you. It's not that you don't care about relationships. It's that you don't worship them. Purpose becomes your center. Even when feelings try to pull you backward, your vision pulls you forward. You must learn to bless people as they leave and keep moving forward in obedience. The loss of someone close is not the loss of God's plan. Just because they were there at the start doesn't mean they are meant to go with you to the end. Don't confuse loyalty with alignment. Let them go, and let your purpose grow. When you're on the right path, resistance is not a sign you have failed, it's a sign you are moving. Pressure and opposition don't mean you missed God. Often they mean you obeyed Him. In God's kingdom, opposition is not always a setback. It can be proof. The enemy doesn't attack what isn't a threat. So if your journey has faced resistance, tension, or unexpected struggles, it might just mean you are exactly where you need to be. The fact that things are pushing back shows you are pushing into something important. But here's what's powerful. Even though resistance comes, you don't break. You feel the weight, but you're not crushed. You feel the fire, but you don't burn out. That's not just willpower. That's grace. That's divine strength. There is a power inside you that the storm didn't give, and the storm can't take away. The pressure is real, but so is the promise. You're standing not because it's easy, but because God planted you. When He plants you, the wind cannot uproot you. Resistance has a purpose. It shows your foundation. It tests what you really believe. It checks if you are here for convenience or conviction. Shallow intentions get exposed under pressure, but deep roots grow stronger in storms. You might be bent, stretched, or shaken, but you are not moved from your calling. That's the proof. You didn't quit. You didn't give up. You didn't run away. You kept showing up. That shows you're not just interested in purpose, you are committed to it. Sometimes we mistake trials for detours, but trials are often training. They sharpen your wisdom. They teach you how to fight in prayer. They clear your motives. They remove distractions. And most of all, they remind you that your strength isn't from yourself. It's from God who called you. You may have been hurt, but you're still here. You may have cried, but you're still believing. You may have been doubted, but you keep going. That's what being aligned with purpose does. It doesn't make the road easy, but it makes your spirit unbreakable. You don't need a life without resistance. You need the kind of clarity and calling that keeps you grounded when resistance comes. Because when you are truly aligned with God's will, resistance doesn't stop you. It proves you are moving in the right direction. So if you wonder if you are on the right path, don't look for perfection. Look for alignment. Look for peace that doesn't make sense but is real. Look for doors that open without you forcing them. Look at the way you're growing, not just what you're achieving. See how your passion has found its true purpose. Notice the relationships that faded while your mission stayed strong. Pay attention to the resistance you faced but didn't let break you. These are not random. They are signs, confirmations from heaven that God is not just walking with you, He is walking through you. You don't need to ask for signs when your life is becoming one. The proof is in your endurance. The evidence is in your posture. You are not lost. You are being guided. You are not behind. You are being built. Even when you can't see the whole picture, trust the process. God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. And if you are still moving forward, still growing, still becoming, then be sure you are exactly where you need to be. Keep walking. Purpose is ahead, and it's already working inside you.